There are enough games in the world, but is there enough Hideo Kojima? Hi, I'm Steven. Welcome to Light Study, where I break down lighting and cinematography and photography so you don't have to. And today, I am reacting to the Death Stranding 2 On the Beach pre-order trailer. I have played the first game. I did not like it at first. To be honest with you, the first playthrough, I was very unhappy. Like a few months later, I kept on missing it, and I went back and played it, and it's been one of my most favorite play experiences. I've seen the announcement trailer, but I have not seen this one, so let's see what happens. I am offering a mentorship if you feel you need it, more at the end, and be sure to check out the free guides and popular commercial interview setups. It's linked below, StevenLightStudy.com. It's institutional knowledge that you won't get at film school.
The only thing that I'm guilty of is doing your dirty work.
And by way of compensation, we have overlooked your crimes.
Bring it on, because I'm not doing this shit anymore.
It makes you think you have a choice!
Huh, okay.
What kind of car?
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Holy, pause. Wow, pause. So that first scene was, it was top lighting. It doesn't look like they're doing any subsurface scattering, which is what happens when light shines through a translucent material. It scatters into whatever is in there. And in our case, it's the blood, and so that's why you get the red backlight, the red glow inside of the skin. I don't think that they're doing that here. They are. It doesn't look like it. That's what sucks with video games. It's like they can't do all of this cool stuff because it's so taxing. But regardless, they have still done some excellent... So the cinematography is fantastic. So right here, you have... What is that? If not a... It's a combination of a side light and a kicker. This is freaking awesome, dude. Okay, so you have... Oh, I think there's a single source right here. Coming from over here. You can see it in this right there. It's kicking off the floor, which thankfully the game's... It's just math. That's all it is. And they do a really good job with that. So they might have... Oh, you know what? It might just be a single source like up here, because that's what's kissing him, and it's what's kicking off of this surface. And then it's a kicker for him, for this guy, and then it's a 90-degree side light for her, and that's what's doing all of this stuff. It's doing all of this work. It's hitting the bridge of the nose. It's beautiful side light, like straight up, like 90 degrees, and this is gorgeous. And they've continued it over here because you can place the sun wherever you want, and it does what it do. And of course, they even have skylight because you have this blue. You have this blue light. Why did I do that? You had this blue here. Anyway, I got to get going because this is like a 10-minute freaking video, but it looks beautiful.
Bring them over from Mexico.
This is Death Stranding? Oh, it is. Okay.
This thing between us.
It looks kind of like Bradley Cooper. With eyeshadow. And yes, I am totally looking forward to the movie. The thing is, like, with what made the first game so cool, like visually so accurate, is that they didn't do anything special. A lot of it was overcast, and so it was just this flat scenery. And I do wonder if for the camera they had like this black following the camera around, because everything looked awesome, and it did seem like there was contrast everywhere you looked. And it's simply, you just render real life with the black behind you and behind the camera, and everything looks awesome. Let's go right back to that. Okay, so wow, that's neato. So what have they done here? So, you know, with games it's different. They have to like, it's similar, right? They have like a skybox that creates like ambient fill, which would be filling this and all of this stuff. And I guess it depends on how many of those shaders, is that what they call them? Those shaders that they use. Because then you also have, then they place like the easy stuff is to place your sun. In this case, it's right there. And that's going to be doing its thing. That's what's kicking her right there. It's in her kicker position. It's in her kicker position. It's great. And then her face is hella dark. Oh my gosh, it's so freaking dark. And that's what the first game looked like. They didn't need to light the face. They almost didn't want to. It was like a very natural drama. But unusually, right here, it does seem like we have a light source hitting this. And it might be kind of trying to reach her, but it's definitely brighter right here. Because, you know, if you look at the grass over here, or, you know, whatever's back there, it's not as bright as this. So this right here is a good stop or more brighter. And I think it is like they probably placed something soft here. They probably placed like something like soft over here to just to light the space. Otherwise it would be as dark as, you know, down here. Anyway, but they kept it minimal, and that's the thing. Control your sources and keep that contrast there, and it's going to look beautiful. And they did a great job here. I mean, and there's also like easy things like this, like they have this extra effect that they can apply, which is this haze. It's and the deeper it goes, the more haze there is, which is just like what you get in real life, which then scatters that light and it makes it look like a painting. It's excellent, beautiful imagery. This is that fog, that haze that I was talking about, the haze effect. And they just dialed it up to 11, and wow, it looks cool. Looks like it kind of reminds me of Silent Hill. Yeah, maybe that's why. Yeah, man, it does have a Silent Hill vibe. You have all that heavy mist, right? So, oh wow, this is looking even more realistic. I wonder if they're still using the Decima engine, that Horizon, the engine that made Horizon look so good. I want to back up here. Walking out. That's a badass shot. Yeah. So the clear difference between this and the first game is, well, there's more detail, but for me that was that sunlight. I just don't recall there being like such strong sun. Oh wow, jungles. This is cool. Yeah, so this is what I remember. This dreary, like Oblivion painting. Even the building looks kind of Oblivion-esque. Yeah, it's just desolation. And that's all. So, and this is what I was talking about. I'm going to come back here. Yeah, I know, I'm skipping around. So this right here is what I was talking about. How, now this might also be because there is a source up here. So it could go either way. There is a source. The sun is up here, and it's kind of blasting down, and it's scattering and making everything diffuse, right? And that's what's causing these highlights. Excellent job with the math and the rendering and, you know, all that technical stuff. And the engineers did a fantastic job. That's also what's casting and lighting up this top section here. So their tops, there's a glint right there, another glint, and then their tops are getting lit. But what isn't getting lit? Back here is in shadow. Back here is in shadow. Real shadow. And this is in shadow. And that's just what naturally happens. Two things. That's what happens whenever you have a source behind or source in front of inside the camera pointing at us, because everything is backlit. And so this side behind camera will naturally be shadowed. But you can also get the same effect by putting a giant black source or a black negative behind the digital camera, and it will always create that contrast. It won't be as extreme as this because there's a sun hitting this, but it would always create that contrast, which is what I wonder is their secret sauce for the rest of the cutscenes and just the gameplay in general. So this is cool, man. It's just you have it looks like kicker light and no fill. She's in silhouette because the kicker is on the opposite side of that 180 line. Everything behind camera. If you don't add any fill, or if you put negative there, she'll just be in silhouette. Of course, they've dirtied up the lens as well, so that helps kind of hide her. Oh, then they reveal. Oh, there was she is backlit, but there is a mist. Okay. That's a cool filmmaking technique. Beautiful. Can be done in real life, but you have so much control with games. Oh, what the heck? Yeah, when this comes out, I'm totally playing it. Isn't that great? That's freaking. Oh, wait. Do we have an eye light? I wonder, can you see anything in the eyes? There is definitely a sun there. You can see it on her shoulder. And then they have kept an eye light. Holy crap. You can see the little dent. The little glint. There's an eye light right over here. Pointed right. It's unnatural. I don't know why you'd put that there. But, and that's what's creating that. And that's what's creating that. And glinting off of this. It's got to be like right next to camera. Anyway. For future reference, Mr. Hideo team, I would totally put that light over here. Wherever she's looking, put that light over there. So she's looking this direction. Put that light over here. And so then you'd have a glint over there instead of over here. And then unnatural place, because we've already shown that the sun is getting blocked. Small thing, but it's cool. Like if you can do these cool things, then you're better for it. Yes, very nice. The sun does seem pretty weak here. So what they've done for this cutscene, and it's cool that they're lighting it just like you would on a set. So they have the sun doing the kick thing. However, that sun is about half as bright as it should be. It should be one stop brighter, because this is kind of weak. This is as if they were at an overcast place and they stuck like a tungsten light and it didn't have enough kick, which is a very common thing, not matching to actual sun. The sun would be at, so if sky overcast is, I think it is, I think it's at like 7 or maybe 10,000 lux. Whereas, so that's a sky. So that's a sky, SKY. So that's its illumination, 10,000 lux, I think, or maybe 7,000. I think, no, skylight is 10,000. Overcast is, I think, 7 to 6,000. So we'll say 7K lux. But sun is around between, last time I measured, it was between 80 and 100,000 lux. So that's a ratio. So this is, which would make the sky, if we're going to go up to 100, that's 10, 20, 40, 80, 90, 100. So that's like 3 and maybe a third stops. 3 and a third stops brighter. So this sun has to be 3 and a third stops brighter than the skylight. And right now it's not. And you can tell. And so anyway, but that's just like I guess that's a Steven pet peeve. They have a source right here. They have something, a hard light, somewhere over here, poking at her face. You can even see the shadow right there. Yep. And it's cool. It's like white light. Like this would be like 5600 Kelvin. Well, this is like 10,000 Kelvin, whatever. You know. Anyway, moving on. I just think that's interesting. Drama. Oh yes, nice, beautiful top light. Oh, that's cool. It's like Stranger Things. I love their that visual. The imagery is amazing. Wow. Yeah, all of this is just overcast soft box, like a 10,000 by 10,000 soft box. That's cool. That's Blade Runner-esque. Beautiful. See if we can find any cooler things. That is unrealistically large. That moon. Oh, this is neat. Wish we could do this in real life. Something that I would love to do. So what they've done out here is, unrealistically bright. This should flare more. It should. I mean, I prefer not to if I'm playing a game, but it should realistically, because if it's going to be casting this much illumination, then they need to be a lot brighter. They just need to be like glowing. At some point, they turn into just like fuzzy glow balls. What else? What I think is really cool is this glow back here. So there's something happening back there that's nice and warm, and it's fuzzy, and it's just glowing stuff back there. And then, oh, but that is not all. They have something lighting up the sky everywhere else. And I imagine it's like maybe a moon. Maybe a backlit moon. Or maybe just the sky, but super dim. I think it would be a moon. It looks like it's a moon. But that is cool. I wish I could do that in real life. In real life, this is all black. If you're going to shoot a night scene, it just ends up being black. You can't place anything back there. Just because it's, cost. It just becomes cost prohibitive. That's why movies are so expensive, Oh, neato. You could shoot off a little helmet. Oh, that's so cool. And it was a source, wasn't it? It was acting on that little car, wasn't it? Yes, it is. That blue overhead. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Is there more to this? That is very beautiful. They did a really, really good job on this. That looks accurate. I think that there's some subsurface scattering. Of course, the face is painted, but I'm talking about with the eye. You can see it in the eye. That pink. This is really well done. Like, that looks real. The reflections on the face. That looks real. Mm-hmm. What? Was that George Miller? I'm not reading any of these names. Hartman, he was one of my favorites. Like I said, there's no subsurface scattering. At least none that I can see. I mean, it just doesn't... Yeah, they look like models. Unfortunately. That's so sad. Yeah, okay, so a great example. Okay, so right here, you would see subsurface scattering. Right here, this is where it would shine, because you have this side light right here, straight to the face. This neckline would glow red. The lips would glow red. The nose, definitely, this section right here would glow red. Even I don't know if you'd see much of the cheeks glowing. Maybe, it's possible. Anywhere where it transitions from light to dark, you would see some glow. But it's not exactly true. It's got to be backlit so that the light punches through, right? But the nose would definitely. And so maybe it's just too hard of a process to like, okay, so right here is another example of where you would see it, but you don't. They did a really good job otherwise. Like there is... Oh. Oh. So you have a source right here. There's a hard light right up here. Oh no, it's a soft light. It's like a tube. There's something over here. It doesn't matter. But what I'm looking at is baby has a little glint in his eye. He's got a light. He's got a little light, which is what's hitting this umbilical right here. And that's what's hitting the bottom of this umbilical. What I'm confused about is and that's also what's hitting underside of baby. That's what's hitting here. It's hitting this and underneath the nose and up here. Bottom of the hands. What I'm confused about is what's hitting the top up here, the top of this umbilical, and the side. Huh. It looks like there's another source over here coming from over there. Maybe they punch through. Maybe they can punch through the bottle. It's something cooler versus what's underneath. And also, it looks like, see this stuff right here? That's the inside of the arm. But the thing is there is a... The thing is, this should be blocking it. And so you should see not much of that. This should be in shadow. And also, this finger right here should be blocking that finger. So what you should see instead is the top getting lit, the top knuckle. So it's like it doesn't block all the light in certain scenarios. What's it called? Occlusion? Light occlusion? Yeah, I don't understand video games, man. Like, why is it that when a character opens their mouth, you can see the light coming underneath through the bottom of their chin and hitting, their teeth, Their mouth should not be bright. It should be dark, right? So they don't do that in here, but that did seem like there was some occlusion issues. That setup was cool. Oh, it's like an LED wall. That dude that plays Higgs was like my favorite part of that game. He was so menacing. Oh, they have caustics going on. So a caustic is let's go back to this. It's like we're creeping on these folks. Caustic is these little water splashes. It's when light hits the surface of the water and the waves shoot reflections in different directions, and it's constantly changing. You've seen it before. If you've been at a pool, you've seen it. You can see it on her neck and her cheek, and his hair. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Death Stranding. Of course, he doesn't end the trailer at the appropriate time. He keeps going, like forever. What do we got going on here? I mean, it looks like a lot of this is the same. What? Was that a Metal Gear guy? Yes, I have never played Metal Gear, by the way, guys. Well, so that was that. That was cool, man. I am excited. They have definitely upgraded their engine in some way to it. Maybe it's just added textures. Maybe they added extra stuff to the physics because I want to say that the light, I want to say it looks, it's treated the same, but it looks better. I wish they would have thrown some subsurface scattering in there, but who knows why. I don't think I've ever seen a game that actually has that, but I'm not a big gamer either. So anyway, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed this. It's just a fun thing to do, to be able to look at this work form that I do, which is shooting mainly commercials. But the work process is the same. You light stuff, you set it up, and to see, you know, that work process applied to a narrative in a video game is beautiful. I don't like it whenever the game is unrealistic and the light is out of proportion, or it's just this is beautiful to me, and I appreciate it. I can't wait. There's always more to learn, and I've made an easy introduction into commercial cinematography with the popular interview styles. It's available free at StephenLightStudy.com. It's linked below, along with one of my favorite resources, Karetakent's 10 Rules for Students and Teachers. And hey, if this still isn't enough, I'm also offering critiques of your work, up to 2 scenes a piece. Just check the schedule for live recordings. Availability is limited, but there is a second evergreen option if you want to submit it. I would be happy to help critique your work. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. If you're a cinematographer or a photographer, I talk about light and how to use it, and the workflow, and I break down a lot of commercials mainly, and show you how it's done so that you can better understand the process and what went into that look. And it's not all as expensive as you might think. All right. Bye.